Hey people, I'm back. Been away for a few days working with my wife on a film about an artist. But I woke up this morning thinking about UFO material and plasma, as you do. Lots of witnesses to UFOs, or UAP, have seen a glowing thing in the sky that seems to drip lava or molten metal. And Dr. Gary Nolan and Jacques Vallée have actually found samples on the ground. Solid hardened metal that obviously was in a liquid state, which appears to have come from whatever it was in the sky. That's very interesting. And I think it's a massive clue to what could really be going on. Now, I'm not a materials physicist. I'm interested in plasma, I'm interested in atomic structure. But what I'm going to tell you today needs you. I'm reaching out. Are you a plasma state physicist? Or at least do you know about phase state shifts? I certainly don't. And I'd like to talk to you if you understand the phase shift between liquid and gas and solid and into plasma, and its reverse. What happens to atoms in an ionized state of plasma when they recombine into a gas, a liquid, and a solid? So Dr. Gary Nolan has a lot of samples. Some of them have come from Jacques Vallée from all over the world, which I find very interesting. And a lot of them contain an alloy of magnesium, often of a strange isotope. Bing! Side point, what is an isotope? Here's a good graphic. So common material can have different isotopic values, and you wouldn't know just by holding it. So a lump of magnesium could have a different isotope. And all that it means is it's got a different number of neutrons. I don't really understand it, but that's the definition. And I do know that when the material is very rich in an isotope, it becomes radioactive and will decay. So most scientists say here on planet Earth, material has a known isotope value. And if it differs from that, it's probably interstellar or extraterrestrial, which is a good way of checking whether it's from a different planet or outside the Earth. But suddenly a light bulb went off in my bizarre science researching head that's full of leaves, and that is the dripping stuff. What is it? And is it a big clue? A lot of UAP appears to be high energy physics. In my opinion, possibly in the state of plasma, the fourth state of matter. And that is normal atoms, but in a highly energetic state, which are magnetic and are separate. But around the boundary of the strange event, the plasma ball, there is an interface where the plasma material would recombine and change from the fourth state of matter back into the third, gaseous, then liquid, then solid. Is that what we're seeing dripping out of these UAP? Imagine something really strange, possibly extraterrestrial, or possibly a force of nature. I really don't know yet. A plasma thingy made of magnesium atoms. If and when this plasma event, or this UFO, whatever it is, and it might be a craft, is in our Earth's atmosphere, the interface between the edge of the craft and our air, the atmosphere, is where whatever the craft is in its plasma state would recombine into the third state of matter. So imagine an alien vehicle or probe or whatever it is magnesium, but in the fourth state of matter as a plasma. So it's there in our atmosphere hovering, and people can see it. It's luminous and it's actually a real object, but it's plasma. So here's my big idea, and I need this question answered. On the interface, the edge of the plasma event, when it interacts with our atmosphere, whatever the object is would change state from being a plasma back into a gas, a liquid, dripping out, solidifying, and there on the ground, bluff, would be evidence of what the stuff is in the plasma. And that's exactly what Gary Nolan has samples of, given to him by Jacques Vallée and other people from around the world. a strange isotopic value of mainly magnesium that might originally have been in a plasma state and then become gas, liquid, and then solid. Dr. Gary Nolan has got the material analysed at a firm in Madison, Wisconsin, my old hometown, using a French technology that can actually look at the actual atoms of what the stuff is. For the first time, we can actually tell its isotopic value and understand where it came from. But here's my point again, and my question to you, plasma physicists. What is the phase state from plasma back into a gas? Seems like a sensible question. Is it possible that the highly strange, the craft, the UFO, the UAP, the device in our atmosphere, when it interfaces with our atmosphere, has a phase state change on its edge, and some of the material inside the craft, the stuff that it's made of, in the fourth state of matter, plasma, drips out? And that's what people have seen. And those drippy stuff is magnesium, because that's what the craft's made out of. And it changes first into a gas, a liquid, and a solid. And people have been picking up bits of UFOs on the ground, because what they found on the ground is evidence of what's up in the air. The thing in the air is ionized, and that answers a lot of questions about how it moves through space and time, maybe. And the thing we find on the ground is, in our reality, a piece of metal. So a big idea and a big question: is what we find on the ground evidence of what's actually inside the UAP? Because it's changed state to reach us and leaves a trace on the ground. Just an idea. If you know, as always, let me know, because the truth is out there.